So in this video, I want to give you kind of a chart for semi-memorizing the sine, cosine, and tangent function at different angles. Okay, so this very bottom angle, this is going to be our 0-degree angle. The one, that's perpendicular to that. This is going to be our 90-degree angle. Of course, we've got 45 degrees straight in the middle, and these other two are supposed to represent the 30-degree and 60 degrees. All right, so 60, yeah, I can't scroll down anymore, darn it. 60 degrees, that'll work. So let's do sine, and let's just do sine first. All right. So at this little point, I'll draw it in red here. So at this point right here, we're going to put the definition for sine of 30 degrees. All right, sine of 30, if you go back and watch that other video where I derived it, it was 1 over root 2, I believe. Yeah, or was it root 2? I think it was we said root 2 over the square root of 2. That's what we called it. Nope, I'm definitely wrong, aren't I? Yeah, I know what it is. It was 1 over 2. That's what it was, 1 over 2. Sine of 45 degrees was root 2 over 2. And then the sine of 60 degrees was the square root of 3 over 2. And I left that under the square root for a pretty good reason. You'll see why. All right. Cosine. We did cosine of 30 degrees. It was the square root of 3 over 2. 45 degrees was the square root of 2 over 2. Remember, sine and cosine were the same at 45 degrees. And then cosine of 60 degrees was the root 1 over 2. So the reason that I'm labeling it like this is so you can see a pretty clear pattern. All right. Basically, sine and cosine are the same thing, but so sine goes 1, 2, 3, counterclockwise, whereas cosine goes 1, 2, 3 in a clockwise direction. All right, so it's a pretty clear pattern there. You just got root 1 over 2, root 2 over 2, root 3 over 2. Let's go ahead and complete the pattern for 0 degrees. And I don't know if I've already talked about this. I don't think I have. Yeah. Back this off a hair. All right, can I delete that? Yes, I can. Good. There we go. I will call this one sine, and we'll back that one off and call that one cosine. All right, so at 0 degrees, so on sine of x, it went 3, 2, 1. The next one is going to be 0. Sine of 0 degrees is 0. Cosine of 0 degrees, see if we can complete that pattern here. We got 1, 2, and then we got root 3 over 2. The next one is going to be root 4 over 2. That's going to be the next one for cosine. Just like with sine, it was 0 over 2. So now root 4 over 2 becomes 2 over 2, which is going to give us 1. All right, cosine of 0 degrees is going to equal 1 for us. All right, and then if we look back, here, let me put that right there. Yeah. If we look at the 90-degree angle, it's the same way but flip-flopped. Sine, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, and then the next one is going to be 4, or this root 4 over 2. So you're going to get 1. When you do sine of 90 degrees, you're going to get 1. Cosine of 90 is going to be 0. All right. So that's what I mean by you're sort of remembering these, you're sort of memorizing them, but it helps to see them where they are on this chart. There's going to be the next definition for how we look at these is really going to help you as far as memorizing them. You're not really going to memorize them. It's going to be more clear why these answers are the way they are. All right, let's go ahead and do tangent while we're here. So for tangent, I'm just going to take whatever the answer for sine and cosine are, I'm just going to take the ratio of those. I'm going to divide them. All right, so for tangent, all right, let's look at tangent of 0. Sine of 0 was 0. Cosine of 0 was 1. So you get 0 over 1. So tangent of 0 is equal to 0. All right, tangent of 30. So tangent of 30 is sine of 30, which is 1 over, oh, my bad. I'm doing the other definition. It is root 1 over 2. That's sine of 30. And then cosine of 30 is the root 3. So you got a complex fraction here. The 2's can cancel with each other. And you're left with root 1 over root 3. All right. So this is going to give us 1 over root 3 or root 3 over 3. All right, and then for tangent of 45, well, sine and cosine are equal to each other. So tangent of 45 is just 1 because you get the same thing on top of each other. All right. And then if we look at tangent of 60 degrees, sine of 60, let me erase some of this. Sine of 60 was equal to root 3 over 2. And then cosine of 60 was root 1 over 2. So you get the 2's cancel out, and you get root 3 over 1. So tangent of 60 degrees becomes the square root of 3. All right. And then the last one, sine and cosine of 90 degrees. You get sine of 90 on top, which is equal to 1, and cosine of 90 on the bottom. Cosine of 90 was equal to 0. So you get 1 divided by 0, or for tangent, you could say this is undefined. A lot of places just put the little infinity symbol there, or you can just put undefined. Alrighty, that's the spider web. Try to study this, recognize what the patterns are. Like I said, I never really memorized the ones for tangent. I just remember that sine over cosine is equal to tangent. So, all right, that'll do it.